Hello and welcome. Today we've got something special for you. So sit down, stick around, and enjoy. Now that's a cool toy. Hello and welcome to another toy review. Today is something very, very special. I've been waiting to do this review for years now. I've been waiting to add this to my collection for years. Finally, the day has arrived. Finally, it has happened. And here it is, man. You guys are going to get the review. I'm going to put you guys into like a little scenario here since it's the holiday season and all. Do you guys remember when you were kids, you're sitting around the tree, and you're like, oh yeah, what am I going to get for Christmas? What am I going to get for Christmas? And then you have something like this, a box like this, underneath the tree wrapped up. And you were like, oh my god, this is huge, it's a huge box, what the fuck is it? And then you'd open it up and oh my god, it's fucking hydrofoil. Yeah, thanks mom and dad. And you freak out. Because it was cool. This is big. It's a fucking big box. Big box. Right now it's a big box. And I'm a huge motherfucker. So when I was a kid, this was like 5 times the size. So it was awesome. I was like, holy shit, man, this is huge. Awesome. Wow, that's a big gift. Thanks, mom and dad. We were happy to get these big boxes under the tree. And then we put it all together and we get our little hydrofoil here. Woo, the more. It was awesome. We were so excited. So excited. But then, some really lucky kids, some of the kids, their parents were rich and shit. Fucking, no kids I ever hung around with. But some kids out there were extremely lucky. And this, which is probably the biggest G.I. Joe box I would get under the tree. Probably bigger than what I usually get under the tree. I think the water moccasins, pretty much the biggest one I ever got, would fail in comparison to what these rich kids would get. Because they would get the crowning jewel of the G.I. Joe collection. They would get this motherfucker under their tree. Oh yes. The box big enough to fit your child in, or even a small adult, the G.I. Joe USS Flagg. So sit down, stick around, and as always, enjoy. So, as in all of my reviews, it all starts with a box. And here it is, the USS Flagg. This is a Canadian version of the USS Flagg. Primary differences? Well, in the box, there's a Canadian flag here being flown as opposed to the American flag. And on the actual toy itself, there's some Canadian stickers, Canadian flag, all that stuff. This thing is huge, like you just saw. With me in front of it, it's massive. This was what everyone wanted to see. So this thing is pretty much, well, I mean the flag is pretty much for lack of a better word, it's just a big playset, just a big slab, an aircraft carrier. And that's all it is. And there's Brock barking. A lot of play value though in this thing, as you can see. Got a microphone. We got fuel trucks, which I actually don't have, which kind of sucks. I'm going to get them though. I don't have them right now, so you won't see those. Missiles. All kinds of stuff, man. Aircraft accessory hooks and all that to speed down the planes. All that beautiful stuff. Keel haul. The man in command. The admiral on board. Most impressive thing about this toy, which you'll see in a few seconds here, is this thing. From bow to stern, this thing is 7.5 feet long. So if there's anything that's even more phenomenal than the size of the box, it's the actual size of the toy itself. I know people love scale. I love scale. I hate to see a picture or video and not be able to scale it down. So we're going to scale this shit down. I want to show you guys exactly how massive this thing is. It's incredible. But first, let's just look at some of the box art here. Look at this. Look at the kids. Look at them around this thing. It's freaking nuts. It's freaking nuts. That dragonfly out there, man. Fucking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. Oh, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. Ha ha ha. 6 Sky Strikers. So there's 6 Sky Strikers on this thing. Can you fit 6 on a toy? Probably, but they're pretty bunched up though, not like this. There are the famous fuel trucks that I don't have right now. This is just phenomenal. The box is beautiful. The colors are bright. Everything's beautiful with it. There's Ace taking off, man. It's beautiful. Look at IK. Look, isn't he fucking happy? Look at him. Yeah, I got the fucking microphone. I got the flag. So awesome. That was never me. Scale. Very important. There's a hydrofoil box in front of the flag box. So it gives you an idea. Hasbro took an incredible risk putting this thing out because a lot of toy stores didn't want to give the required shelf space for this thing because they could have like, you know, they could have like 10 hydrofoils or 1 flag. And they have a better chance of selling the 10 hydrofoils than they would the 1 flag. So it was a big risk to carry this thing. Width of the box is huge too, as you can see. You can actually get in there if you want to. Here's a good scale comparison. Put a little reissue Zartan down there. And there he is. That's a normal 3 3/4 inch G.I. Joe figure, Zartan. In front of this big massive thing. So it's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. So what we're going to do now is we're actually going to review the 7.5 foot monster. So let's go. So I'm going to take you guys on a fantastic voyage of this thing here, the USS Flagg. At 7.5 feet long, it's the biggest playset ever conceived for action figures in the 80s and I think up to this day today. So beautiful. Beautiful. And since I'm going to be your captain for the day, ha ha ha! So get on board, baby! Woo! Here it is, the USS Flagg. Beautiful! Look at it. It's awesome. This thing is like immense. Like I said, 7.5 feet long. Very big. Primarily though, all this is a few of these bars underneath there, like you can see here. These things basically, they go through the whole thing. And they support these giant platforms on top here, which are actually very heavy. Don't let the fact that this is made out of plastic fool you. This thing here is extremely heavy. Actually, with all these pieces in the box, in order to get it downstairs safely, it took me and one of my friends, so I couldn't carry it alone. So it's very deceiving on how heavy they are. This centerpiece here, section, is actually extremely heavy. The heaviest part of the whole thing. So if we go around here and look at it for a sec. There's some play value to this thing. I mean, other than being just a big plank, which is just awesome because it's so big. We have turrets here on the side. We got turrets on the back end there too. Which just basically go around and apparently shoot and stuff. Woo-hoo. The front end here, which we'll actually try to get a better look at after if I can turn this thing around, on a table has anchors. There's 2 anchors, one on each side. The infamous 99 sticker, also seen in the box art. Great. I think one of my pet peeves is the people that put the stickers upside down. So they're 66, or well, 69 isn't that bad, I guess. In hindsight, but yeah. 99 is the way to go. The Gretzky way. So it's cool you can actually fit your vehicles on here. As you can see, I got a Sky Striker right here with Ace on board. Beautiful. Like, you can like easily fit that on there. You could fit 2 if you want to, one behind each other or whatever case may be. You could fit one out here if you wanted to. There's a Dragonfly that I have there. Dragonfly is actually on top of a little, it's kind of like a little elevator thing, I guess. It goes down. Don't really understand the point of it, but, you know, whatever. We have the Admiral's launch, which is the Admiral's little boat to get out there, because God knows the Admiral's not going down with the ship. Look up here, we got all kinds of antennas and stuff, radars. We got our captain right here, the man in command, keel haul. Top part here, the mast cap, is actually probably one of the rarest pieces. Just this thing right here. It actually holds everything together. Kind of cool. From what I can tell, what I'm missing, a few deck clips, 2 deck clips I think, or 1 deck clip, and I'm missing as well a door, the door right there. Well, right there I should say, because the door here is actually there, it's just open up, you can't see it. I can go in here, oop, fling on it. And I knocked it down. Oh well, I'll put it back in a sec. There's a door there. Woohoo! The deck clips, these are the infamous deck clips right here. These actually hold the structure in place because you have those beams underneath here. Those things there, they go across and they have holes in them. So in order to secure the top side here to the beam so it actually holds together in one piece, you have these deck clips here that you push in and they hook and they hold. So when you tug on it there, it's secure. Like I said, the actual underneath of this is just like 3 beams, that's it. It looks like there's a big chunk of plastic underneath. There's not. This is actually just like a cover-up. It's a really thin piece of plastic that you can fold and mold. So it just goes all the way along underneath in order to make it look like there actually is a underneath of this thing. So it's kind of sharp. Good ingenuity. Have the good old cords here to stop the to get the planes to stop and not go all crazy and stuff. Very neat. This, as you can see, look, it just clips in here like so, and done. That's all it is. Another one of the guns here. There's another one of the guns in the back too. We have a winch here. It actually works. When you turn the knob here, it goes up or down. You can pull it in, as you can see. Pretty cool. It's neat. So from the front here, actually there's another thing right here I should show you guys. The blast shield. When the planes are launching. Turn this up. There you go. It's pretty cool. So that goes in front here so the plane can launch out. Just move it around a little bit in there and it goes right back in. Alright. So most of the play value or the quarters and all that is all on the other side of this thing. You actually got to turn the whole thing around because it's in the back. So I'm going to take the table here and move it a bit, and then we're going to be able to go in the back and see what it looks like. So hold on. I'm going to flip this thing around. So the actual back of the ship here, as we go all around it, as you can see, mine's customized for Canada. The back right there is the play area. But here you have the back, the tail fin section of the flag, the satellites, some engines and whatnot, and then the actual name of the ship right there on the back, which is very cool. Very neat indeed. So we're going to keep going around here. So I dropped down a little elevator part here where the Dragonfly was on a second ago, just so you can see it. So you can kind of see more of the structure underneath the bars and all that. So basically you have 2 real plastic sections, the front end and the back end. And then you have these bars that go across, and you have deck clips that hold all the pieces together. So, pretty cool. The Admiral's boat, you can actually pull down on it here to launch it. If you want to launch it in the water, very cool. Let him get away. And here's the inside of it, what it looks like. Got little rooms here. This is where the bombs go. The actual bombs are on the top there. The missiles, the red missiles. You can put them, stack them up on this thing here. Another little room here. This is the famous door I just showed you guys that popped off earlier. Actually, I put it in upside down, so I'll flip it around here. Put it back in. There. And close it up. Ladder to go upstairs. There's all these little dividers here, which kind of simulates the dividing of the rooms. You can see there's actually a full one here, and the other ones are all smaller. Little radar station right in there, where one of our boys can sit down and, you know, detect enemy submarines and shit. Down here, the basement, we have another computer here with some recording equipment. Another chair. Neat. Go up a bit. And we have, this is pretty much the master headquarters. This is Keel Hall's domain. You know, he got his wheel and his other stuff in here. The view of the ocean. Right there. So, you can actually take Keel Hall, which is right here. The man in command. Got a little holder for him here. Actually put him, slide him in there. And you can put him at the wheel. Look at him. He's wheeling it up. Driving the ship. So it's cool. These are the missiles. They're not spring loaded, so you just pull out. So there's no springs here. There's Sphinx missiles. Sphinx. That in there. Put it back in there. The radar net. All the different comm things up there. Like a biodome here. The famous winch, which is right here. The thing, well, one of the things, in the Canadian version, we know that G.I. Joe Flagg on one side, but Canadian as opposed to American on the other. Canadian version. So overall, this thing has good play value. If you're a kid, I mean, it's great. It's good detail. It's awesome engineering to make this thing. Probably retailed, well, I don't know probably, I know what it actually did. It retailed between $109 to $135 when it came out back in the 80s. So there's a little satellite and little rail that you can actually walk down and use those satellite disruptors. The elevator, well, you can, although this kind of works a little weird. It's a little fragile, but you can pull it up and push it back in. There. So that's good. So, I mean, you can't go wrong with this thing. This thing is freaking cool. Expensive, though, on a secondary market, but definitely very cool. So like I mentioned, on my ship, I'm the guy that gives the orders. I'm the man in command. I'm the captain. Which is bad for the rest of the people on the ship because, let's face it, we're fucked. But, regardless, one of the quintessential pieces here to the G.I. Joe Flagg is the actual microphone, which you can actually bark orders into, which was awesome as a kid. Everybody wanted a megaphone to get your own chance. Also has 3 other sounds on this thing, which was really cool. So, let's try it out. Attention, attention. DCompose is driving the boat and shit. That is all. So, as you can see, it's not much of a microphone. It kind of works. It's kind of like the Snake Mountain microphone. It's nothing really awesome, nothing really super duper cool. But as a kid, this was the shit. And I still love it. I love this thing. Now there's actually other things here. If you look, there's 3 more gauges here, 3 more nicks, which are actually sounds. So if you flick it over, this, and then just hold down the button. Red alert! Red alert! We're under attack! Awesome. These sounds actually also make the dog go nuts. When Brock hears this shit, he gets all... 949-212. Right. We'll flick it to another sound here. Red alert! Another red alert. Awesome. I like it. Big foghorns. And we got one more sound on this thing. Standard beeping. Cool. So we got this beep. Got this beep. Oh. Just cool. Sounds like Pearl Harbor. So we got this beep. And then we got the voice. So the microphone, I guess, overall, with all this shit on it, thinking it's from the 80s as a kid. You hear the dog's fucking going nuts now over this microphone because he loves it. Their microphone is awesome! Back to the review. So at 7.5 feet long, at over $100 retail, back in the 80s, this was the quintessential G.I. Joe item. The Holy Grail. G.I. Joe. With a box that towers anything, it definitely was one of the biggest and best play sets ever. Ever! The next biggest G.I. Joe item, if you look over there, the end of my room, the G.I. Joe Defiant Space Shuttle Complex. That was the second one. But the Holy Grail will always be the USS Flagg. You got the cash and you got the room to display this bad boy? Go out and get it. Worth every penny. So until next time, guys, take care. Later.